and welcome back to the Midlife Transits series. My name is Cosmic Jessica. I will be your cosmic guide, and here I am discussing what it looks like for these transits, how it can show up for you, how it relates to perimenopause and menopause. This one is a really big one as well too. Here from the ages of 43 and 45, we are going to be experiencing what is called your Saturn opposition. Now, the first part of this series was your Saturn square. And here we've moved along 7 additional years to your Saturn opposition. This is a checkpoint of accountability. Have the things that you implemented from that last Saturn square 7 years ago, how are they doing? What are we doing? Are we making the progress that we needed to do? Have we stuck with the discomfort? That previous post was the Uranus opposition, where you go and you make changes and we physically change our world around that Uranus opposition. This is going to show you if those changes that you have made are stick worthy. They have merit for the person that you're growing into. It can very much look like reaping the repercussions of those actions and decisions that you made during Uranus opposition. If they were aligned, or maybe they were just way too far out there, you need to reel it back. That Saturn opposition is going to really pump the brakes on any forward growth, create a sense and experience of uncomfortability and simply not working anymore. Saturn is about restrictions. We can see that during this time, we might also be rewarded from some of the things that we put into play during that Saturn square. Because the one thing that I love about Saturn is Saturn delays, but it never denies. If you do the work, if you've been stick-to-itive with it, and you've done it from a grounded perspective and a long-term scope, you will start to reap rewards during this time. It is a little from Saturn saying, hey, listen, I know you've done the work. I know you've worked really hard. Things have been a little bit crazy, and I've seen that you implemented some of these changes, but they actually work really well, and we're going to continue to support you. So while you may experience a couple boundary issues, a couple restrictions and delays here, you are also given a little bit of a glimpse that if you stick with it, you will be fully represented with rewards when you get to that next Saturn return in your late 50s. This is also a time where you're being asked to do the hard work to support your mental and physical health here. That looks like, for women in particular, how is your perimenopause symptoms affecting you? What is happening? Some women around this time, around 43 to 45, might end up having surgical hysterectomies. I had mine at 44. Now, there was kind of a little bit of a slew of other female issues that have been going on, like endometriosis and adenomyosis. So it became very clear that the next step for me was that surgical repair. How can you build going forward? So for women in perimenopause, it might look like you actually starting some HRT to support your journey during this time. It may look like if you've had a lot of reproductive issues, you are diagnosed with an autoimmune issue like endometriosis, going in, having ablation surgery, having a hysterectomy. This is very common during this time. And from here, if you started your perimenopause journey early to mid 30s, you actually might be finding yourself in this 12-month consecutive phase without a period, without having menstruation, where you find yourself fully entering into postmenopause. Because we have to keep in mind that the act of menopause is represented by 12 consecutive months without a menstrual cycle. Once you hit day 365 without 1 ounce of a period experience, you then are in menopause for that one day out of that 365 days, and then you immediately are in postmenopause, like myself. This is really a time about you supporting your physical health as well too. And you may also find that you have gone through a lot of therapy in addressing your traumas from your Pluto square Pluto experience in your late 30s, early 40s. And now you are starting to really understand and be able to work through those levels of trauma that have kept you stuck in so many different ways. You may also find that talk therapy at this point in your life has served its purpose to a point. I will never ever not promote talk therapy, but if you're somebody who has a lot of trauma, you've experienced it, especially medically, and you've got it sitting in your body, this is where you find that somatic work and nervous system regulation is the next step to really refining the process. And Saturn is about refining. It's about solidification through the refinement process. That's why there's restriction, because we can't just solidify something that's massively expansive, hello Jupiter, all the time. We need to cut the fat, trim the fat. What works, what doesn't? How can I support at this phase in order to get to the pressurization to that diamond phase? That you're following along, make sure that you're saving this one, because now we're really going to start entering into that menopause later life phase and the different transits that show up during there. Again, my name is Cosmic Jessica. I am your cosmic guide and founder of the Cosmic Wellness Method that blends Ayurveda, astrology, human design, and somatic work together to support women through their perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause journeys.